today I'm going to provide you 5 tips to harness the power of a remote team. So many of us nowadays are looking at building, growing, or we're sitting in a remote team. Even if you're doing 2 days at work and 3 days home or vice versa, most of us are working within a remote team, especially if we're talking about an office setting. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to give some tips to help us build this together, because the road is still ahead of us and we need to take advantage of where we are now. So without our blinders on, there's going to be some ways that we can all grow and build. So I'm going to do the bottom line up front and talk about intentionality. Being intentional as a leader is one of the things that you have to do. And when I say a leader, it's a leader in any area of the organization. Because right now is a great place to start building 360-degree leaders, because you have to lead yourself. And you also have to deal with the reality of being at home. The children may not be at school. Most of them are not. Sorry. And so you have the dynamics of handling all of that as well. Then you're at home, which is always pulling and drawing you. So you need to establish boundaries and all that good stuff, right? So let's talk about the team. 5 tips. Number 1, build trust. Now, trust is not just from the top down. Trust comes from building trust with your coworkers, and then building the second one is build communication. So trust is something you do as you build communication. They are linked together. Because if you're not communicating, it's hard for me to trust you, because I don't know what you're thinking, because I can't get in your head. And you don't want to be in most people's head. Just saying. Then the third one is build on your commonalities. Now, when I say that, most people are having all these meetings and all of this, but to be honest with you, I need to have some fun. So think about some fun ways. If you were having a regular meeting, you normally do something to bring everybody in. So you have some kind of icebreaker. So consider doing some fun games so people can find out a little bit about each other. And those commonalities are going to build strength for your team. For an example, Sally has 3 kids. 1 is in college. 1 is 8. And she's dealing with the same thing that Michael is dealing with, because he's working from home too. And his kids may be a different age, but he still has to deal with part of the fact that he's teaching them from home, or he's helping them from home, or the kids are home and the dog is barking and the cat. Build on commonalities and then give them some grace. Okay? So in the middle of commonalities, give people grace. If the dog comes up and he starts licking, the dog is at home. He's not used to them being at home. So he's like, is it the weekend? What's going on? So give him some grace and say, hey, cute dog, what kind of dog is it? And then go right back to what you need to do as far as business. But give them space to be human. Okay, so build on the commonalities. Now the other one, build on the collaboration. So give projects and things where they can collaborate together, and then hand it off. I know in the office typically we're, managing while looking at everybody. However, I'm at my house. For real, that ain't gonna happen. So let us build in our own structure by ourselves. We need to build some strength of leadership, and so build on the collaboration. So when they both come together, say, okay, now this is the best time because I got the kids down. So give them some space so they can collaborate on their terms, so they can build a team, so they can build the synergy, because more than one mind coming together is better than one mind. You see what I'm saying? When more than one mind comes together, you build synergy, and that mind becomes stronger and better. So build on commonalities and build on collaboration, and build that, because you want to make sure as a leader that you're growing leaders. And that's the other one. Build on leadership skills. Build on their leadership skills. Bring people in every now and then to do some training. And there's so much training out there. So some of it is free. If your budget does not allow that, bring in something. And the other thing is, you'd be surprised what's on your team. When you learn more about the commonalities on your team, when you communicate more with your team, you'll find out that, wait a minute, your degree is in what? Do you want to bring in some training? You love leadership? Why don't we look at this book? Bring all of that to the table, and that's going to, oh my gosh, build your team. And that's what it's about. It's about building your team. It's about assigning a project and letting them be responsible for it. It's about them learning each other and growing, because team work makes the dream work. Teamwork makes your organization grow. And even though the intentionality starts with an I, it's not about one individual. It's about all of us coming together as a team, because it matters. And again, the first person we have to learn to lead is ourselves. So remember, teamwork makes the dream work. This is part of the psychology of success, philosophy of success. And yes, it is mentally the psychology of success as well. But it's actually based on Napoleon Hill's 17 principles. And as you see the ship, which is a part of the thumbnail, see where teamwork is on the ship and how it's surrounded by so many other aspects that we need to make our dream work, because it's connected to your next steps, okay? So remember, build trust, build communication, build commonalities, build collaboration, build leadership skills. So it takes all of that to have the grace to be a remote team. Okay? This is Johnnie with Johnnie, Lloyd and Associates. Have an awesome day and continue to do the things it takes to build, to grow, and expand your team.